My personal brand isn't very big, but it makes me about $1 million a year right now before I've even grown it super huge. Is because of the systems that I have and the systems that I help other people build. And little background on me, I started building IG pages back in 2017, 2018. That transformed into an agency where we scaled personal brands really big on Instagram. And that transformed into a consulting company where we grow personal brands and we grow faceless pages. And I've grown my own personal brand. I'm going to walk you through my system that it makes me $1 million a year from my personal brand. It's the personal brand formula. And let's jump into it. There's really three parts. This is our matrix of personal brands at Launch Socials. First thing, growing followers. Yes, you need followers so you can actually sell a product to them. Now, this formula is all about selling your own thing, okay? If you want to go get brand deals, stuff like that, you can do it. We're all about growing our own followers and making our own sales with our own product. And that means generating client results. And this thing together is a real business. You can take the concepts from this, you can apply this to basically any business model. Getting followers means getting traffic or ads coming in and they bring people that see your product. And then you make sales, you have a sales team. Insurance sales is another example, right? You could be an insurance salesman and make sales. And then getting client results. People actually getting what they pay for. This applies to literally every type of business. I just mentioned 4 different ones. I hope I didn't confuse you. Now, let's talk about growing followers first. There's a couple questions that I always get. I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it basic. What platform do you do? There's always this intersection, right? You want to pick a platform that has the niche and the ideal followers that you want to have following you, but also something that you can execute on. If you're really good at writing and your ideal followers on Twitter, maybe consider Twitter, right? Maybe consider that. Or maybe they're on LinkedIn. Maybe consider LinkedIn. Pick a writing-heavy platform where your ideal follower is, okay? You want to find the intersection for the platform. It's very simple. It's very basic. If you're really good on video, specifically long form, which I think I am. I think I'm pretty good on video, long form. I should be on YouTube way more than I am already. And that's why we're going so hard right now. You probably see a lot of videos from me. Now, how do you actually grow? How do you go? There's got to be a trick. How do I grow? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's 2 things, okay? It's very basic. I'm going to tell you, because everyone tells you there's some trick. There's no trick, okay? This is you. Okay, this is I'm going to do C for content, okay? This is you and your content. And these are the people, okay? These are the people out here, okay? You need these people to come see your stuff. Now, the way algorithms work in today's day and age, this happens organically. But this only happens if this is good. If this piece of content is good, speaks to the target demographic, and they say, oh wow, I like that, let me click on this page and find more, and they find a bunch more of it, now you're being discovered, and then they click the follow button, okay? Now, if this is bad, let's say we have this scale, and this is 1 and this is 10, and you're yeah, I'm doing a little bit of good content, a 3, you're gonna get some followers. If you bump it up, right, 5, you're just gonna get more followers, because the distribution's gonna be bigger, it's gonna be better, more people are gonna like you, they're gonna send it to their friends, okay? The algorithm is nothing more than a tool built by social media platforms to decide if your content is good or bad based on what people like. If people like your content, the algorithm pushes you more. If people don't like your content, the algorithm decreases your reach. That's how it works. The algorithm is not shadow banning you. Sometimes that happens, yes. Shadow bans can be real, they can happen, but typically it's not the case, okay? So how do you grow? You post really good content. This video is not about posting good content. I have more videos on that, I have more trainings on that. You can go watch those. But I'm telling you is, you grow by posting good stuff that people resonate with, okay? Now, is it all about quality or is it all about quantity? And in this case, I'm talking about followers. Do you want a crazy amount of followers, or you want really high quality followers? Well, ideally we have both. But that doesn't always happen. Depends on your niche, depends on your expertise and who you are and all of that. And so what I'll tell you is you want to pick who you are, okay? And this is about you, and who they are, okay? So who you are is your story and what you're an expert at and what you're good at and what you like and your lifestyle and everything, and the message that you're putting out, that core message, okay? That's you. And then they is like, why would they resonate with that? And who are they? I have a video on, or maybe I have a video on. I have a training somewhere. Maybe it's on my channel, but it's about the characteristics. Finding the characteristics, you find the avatar. Here, I'll just walk you guys through it. Fuck it. Avatar. You identify who that avatar is. You then layer in their characteristics. Okay, you say, oh, well, it's this person and that person. Let's say we're targeting college ball players, right, and baseball players. College baseball players, age 22 or younger, and they have this, and that attribute, right, like physical attribute or mental attribute. And then below that, we have emotions. What emotions does this person with these character traits experience? So this is the person, this is the character traits, and then the emotions that they have. What pains, what desires, what do they ideally want, what do they hate so much, what sucks so much, all that. You wrap this up, and that is they. Okay, so it's you, as in, you're the person that is so stylish and cool looking, and you're fit and blah blah blah, and you're a Chad like me. And then they are XYZ person, avatar, character, emotions. Okay, that's how you determine who your ideal person is, and then that determines your quality or your quantity, because it does exist on a matrix, right? Like, if you're gonna be an entertainer, like if we have a quality quantity matrix, it's like, if you're an entertainer, you're Logan Paul, you're existing over here on quantity. Your goal is to be as big as possible because you're just posting whatever. But if you're like a niche expert, which is where most people that want to grow profitable personal brands fall, like, you can do this. It's just not a proven concept, right? It's just like way harder to do this. Everyone's trying to do this. Not a lot of people are trying to be a niche expert and share their expertise and share their success and their results. And so you want to fall somewhere on this side. It's okay to be an entertainer, but you should fall more towards the quality of follower and be a niche expert, because it's more proven. Like this, I can almost guarantee people, if they're an expert and they do it the right way, they will make money. Okay? That's simple. Now, how do you not be cringe? How do you not be cringe? Because everyone says, oh my god, well, I post content and I gotta grow, but I don't want to look like that guy. He looks kind of weird, and I don't want to be that guy, and oh, I don't like this. I don't want to dance on TikTok. I don't want to be a dancing monkey, and blah blah blah. And you don't have to. What am I doing right now? I am giving I'm like a teacher right now. I don't know. And the next video we upload is going to be a crazy vlog video, and I'm just having fun with it. You know, it's nothing crazy. It's very basic. But how do you not be cringe? You come on and you be real. You have to know who you are. Like I was saying earlier. Oh, I was going to go circle. I was going to go circle the you that doesn't exist anymore because I erased it. But the you. Like, who are you? What do you believe in? What are your boundaries? Okay, like, where do you say, you know what, I'm cool with that, but I'm not cool with that? Great. And then you plant yourself firmly and you create as much as you can within that. And maybe you test those boundaries a little bit. But if you don't want to dance on TikTok, don't dance on TikTok. What are you an expert at? What are you good at? What do you believe in? Go talk about it. Just start making videos. You can work on the hooks, and you can work on the timelines and the engagement tricks and all that. You can do that later. Just go start creating things that you think are cool. That's how you end up not being cringe. Now, I wanna go to the next thing here because I'm running out of time. I have a call, right? But first, you grow followers. That's kind of the formula I just ran through. Now, 2, you make sales. Okay? Yes, you have a product and you need to get results. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you're starting from the ground up, you've never had a client before, you've never, built a business, you've never sold anybody anything, you just get followers based on your expertise. Cool. Good example is like a fitness guy. You get really jacked, really big, amazing, and you want to help people, you start making sales. You build a product. Now, picking the right vehicle here is important. Picking the right vehicle starts up here. Okay? It starts with who you're targeting. It starts with what your niche actually is. That's going to depend on your expertise, right? Everyone's kind of going to get boxed in naturally, but picking the right vehicle also depends on the product that you're doing. Okay, you want to pick something that's scalable, because I talk to a lot of people like, yeah, I want to do one-on-one coaching and I want to make $300,000 a month, or let's make it easy. Let's do $100,000 a month. I want to do one-on-one coaching. I want to make $100,000 a month. I'm like, cool. How much are you going to charge for that one-on-one coaching? Well, I'm going to charge $5,000 a year. And so I'm saying you want to make $100,000 a month. You need to sign 20 new clients every single month. And you're going to work one-on-one with 20 new clients, and they're going to have a year's worth of access to you. After 5 months, you have 100 clients that you have to fulfill one-on-one. That's 100 hours of one-on-one calls if you're giving them an hour each per week, right? Let's say you're meeting with them per week. That's impossible. That doesn't work. That's not scalable. And so this is all about picking the right vehicle. You have 3 options, really. You have low ticket, you have high ticket, and I'm talking about info here, okay? I for info. You have low ticket info, you have high ticket info like coaching, consulting, mastermind, and then you have services, okay? And this is like S for service, like an agency, right? We'll do an A over here. Just load up all the symbols for you guys. And these are your 3 options. I personally recommend the following. I recommend people start with the highest ticket thing they can go. Some people can do services, fine. I started out with services, and then I moved to consulting, and then I moved to low ticket. No problem. But if you're in the fitness niche, you're not going to be able to really do a service. So you start with the highest ticket thing you can, and then you work backwards. So if we're reverse engineering a funnel, it's going to be like consulting, right? Consulting, and then it'll be like a mastermind up here. And I don't recommend you start with a mastermind. Sometimes you layer above, but consulting is probably what you start with. And then you say, oh, a lot of people are graduating. Let me go increase my LTV, customer lifetime value. And then also, there's a lot of people that are coming in that, you know, they're a fit, like kind of, but they don't have the money. And so you build a course, and you build an ebook, and you work backwards, okay? You work backwards, just like this. And so I recommend starting with something scalable here, and then layering in new products on top of it. It's all about picking the right vehicle. And picking the right vehicle means picking something that you can sell over and over and over again, a productized thing, and your time isn't as attached to it as, let's say, an hourly job. We're not trying to build ourselves another job here. We are trying to build ourselves a business system that runs for us. You grow followers and you start to make sales, okay? It's all about picking the right vehicle. There's other things you could pick. You could promote a clothing brand. You could promote software. There's tons of stuff that you could promote with your personal brand. I personally recommend being an expert, like I said, a niche expert over here, and it's going to create a quality audience, and then you go and sell a proper product stack. That's how you pick the right vehicle. This has scaled multiple people to 6 figures a month, and multiple others to 7, even 8 figures, in total. Now, a predictable sales system. This is very simple. A lot of people don't think it's predictable on social media. They're like, well, I got my link in bio. Like, I don't know how to, whatever, get clients in and whatever. I'm going to show you guys. Okay. So the first thing is T for traffic. I don't have a lot of space here. Actually, we'll draw it up here just to make it easier on my videographer back here so he doesn't have to bend down. T for traffic, okay? That traffic turns into a follower. That follower turns into a lead, and that lead turns into cash. Okay, now obviously not everyone turns into traffic, follower, lead, cash, but this is typically how it goes. Now traffic, I was explaining to you earlier, people find you in the algorithm and they become a follower, okay? Now after they're a follower, they start to become a fan, they start to like you more, all of that, and then you say, hey, amazing, you've been following me for a while. You put it up on your story, or you have like a retargeting ad running, or you put it up as a post or whatever. You say, hey, I've got 5 spots left this month for my XYZ program, blah, 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 this and that. If you're interested, just DM me this word or fill out this application or whatever it is. And that fan and follower becomes a lead. And then you work that lead and you pitch that lead to collect money, okay? Now, the important thing here is this. This is the connection. Because everyone grows followers. Everyone does this. Like, check. Like, that's easy. And everyone's like, yeah, like, just jump on the calls and, oh, that's easy. Collect them, pitch them, whatever. But this right here, where followers and fans become leads, is the part where most people get wrong. They're like, oh, it's not predictable. No, you just didn't even tell anybody that your product exists. It links in your bio. Yeah, link it in your bio. But post every day about it. Post every day the fact that you have people getting results, and you have a program, and you have this and you have that, and whatever, blah, 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 whatever. Just tell people that it exists. That's how it becomes predictable. And it becomes even more predictable as this increases. And so it's a flywheel. And I'll talk about the flywheel in a second, right? But you grow followers, and then you start to make sales, okay? And the final thing right here is client results. What does it actually mean to get results, okay? You don't have a business that exists profitably and without people like getting mad at you if you are not getting client results. So whatever you're promising over here on the sales side, and whatever you're an expert at, you better damn make sure of it that people are getting what they paid for over here. If that is not the case, if they're not getting what they paid for, you are a terrible person and you need to fix it. Or a terrible person if you know about it and don't fix it. And if you do know that there's a problem and you do fix it, you do acknowledge it, amazing, okay? You just need to make sure that people get results. If people do not get results, you will not be able to scale profitably. You'll have to spend so much money to run this thing that it won't be fun, it won't be worth it. You should just go run a business in a different industry. You need to make sure you get results. If you're a cool, qualified, confident person, you will get results. Now, this is what I'll tell you. There's two important things. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on fulfillment. I'll make separate videos about this. But the problem to solution matrix. Okay, this is what a lot of people do. They say, okay, this client has a problem. Amazing. Let me give them this special thing. And, oh, this business model could be good for them. And, oh, I'm going to give them this crazy, complicated thing, and blah, blah, blah. And then the client just ends up being confused. Okay? That's what happens. If there's a problem that a client has, you want to find the straightest line to the solution. What we found this is really just give them a step-by-step. If we're selling info, you can also sell different things, right? Like, but in this case, like, you give them a step-by-step, and then you hold their hand. Hold their hand. Okay? And there's a lot more nuances here, obviously. But the key point here is find the straightest line from the problem to the solution, or the problem. I'll tell you this, actually. The goal. This is the goal. This is the solution. Sorry. You find the straightest line from the problem to the goal, and the solution is in here. And then you just get them there. You don't do all this fancy, whatever, complicated stuff. Straight line. Here's your problem. Here's your goal. Here's your plan. Client is super happy. Okay, that's the fastest way to get results. I'm gonna go into like different stuff like that in separate videos, but you guys get the picture. Find the straight line. Now here, this is key. Fulfillment is your marketing. And this brings this whole thing full circle. So like I said, you grow followers, right? And once you get followers, you can sell. And once you sell, you can get client results. But as you get client results, you start to get something very, very important. Okay, we're gonna erase again. I've been drawing a lot here. You have to get something very, very important. And that is called insights. You start to learn a lot about your clients and your ideal followers, and you start to get insights, right? You start to just stack these bad boys up, and what that allows you to do is share lessons, right? Or lessons and wins and emotions, right? Like I said, pains and problems, whatever, right? And you take all this, you get all this here, and you take it all and you put it back into your content. And that content speaks to your ideal customer. And then these pieces of content turn into, actually, I'm not even going to say customers, they just turn into money. Because people start to pay for you to help them because you're speaking directly to them. And then this whole flywheel starts spinning. And you go from here, which is sales, to fulfillment, to marketing, and this matrix right here, okay? This thing starts spinning over and over and over. And what you have is a massive spiral up. So you set the foundation. You set the foundation right here, okay? And it's basic grow followers, it's basic get sales, it's basic get results, okay? And then as you go, you slowly expand and expand and expand and expand and expand and expand, and you spiral up. Every person that's built a 6, 7, 8-figure business with their personal brand and similar businesses has done this exact thing. Like that, maybe that first spiral is like, oh, I got the product kind of set, I got some people results, I got the following. Maybe I'm gonna bring in some automation, some software, and oh, I'm gonna change up my sales process. And then the next rotation is I'm gonna bring in a sales team, and then I'm gonna bring in one guy to help with fulfillment, and then I'm gonna bring in a videographer to help my edits, and then above that it's another layer and another layer and another layer. That's what this whole thing is. This is the 1 million a year personal brand formula, guys. I want to recap real quick. It's very simple. We grow followers. We don't have to be cringe. We grow quality followers, and we can get a large quantity of them if we do it right. Okay? We pick a platform that aligns with us and our niche. We then pick a scalable vehicle, the right vehicle that's going to be able, like a 10 out of 10 right vehicle, all that, with a sales system that is perfectly aligned. I used to have it up here. I was going to point at it, but I don't. A sales system that's perfectly aligned to bring someone from a piece of traffic, a random person, right? There's a random person, they become a follower, they become a lead, they become money, okay? And as they do that, you get them results. You want to identify their problem and their goal. You're roughly going to have all the same. Everyone's going to have the same. You build a solution for that, and then all the insights you get from that solution, you put back into content, which goes back into sales and back into marketing, fulfillment, and it goes over and over and over and over again. And this is the 1 million a year personal brand formula. This is what has allowed me to make $1 million a year, multiple of my clients to be there or on the way there, and it's probably the formula that's going to get me to 10 mil a year, 20, 30 as we scale. The biggest thing for us right now that we're focusing on is this, right? This is our next big pillar. This is pretty solid. This is pretty solid for us, like really, really strong. And this is our next big pillar right here is content and growth and more followers and grow, big, big, big. That's us right now. So we're doing the same thing. We're above $1 million a year, and we're in that flywheel, just going, spinning on the way to the top. Now, if you guys want more stuff like this, one, subscribe to the channel. Okay, just hit the subscription button. And two, we will help you implement this into your own business. If you are a personal brand, a social media brand, you want to scale, you want to do things the right way. Maybe you have one of these pieces, or you have a broken kind of segment of each of them. But you want to do things the right way. You want to do it profitable. You want to do it streamlined. You want to do it tight. You don't want to stress out all the time. Then you can apply below. Link is below in the description of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions and you haven't applied and you have subscribed, you better be subscribed. If you have questions, drop them below, and I got you. You can also hit me on IG or Twitter. My DMs there are always open. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to be uploading at least a couple videos a week. I have been. I'm going to continue to do so. And I'll see you guys in the next one.